don't know where people stand on her being a hyper carry. She's incredibly strong, and we've seen her, at a professional level, both top lane and down in the bottom lane. So there is some things like that. And I do see that we do have draft phase going. I'd love to be able to get a link from somebody so that we can also keep up with it. But watching back, we do see Thresh, Hecarim being banned away. Pretty standard stuff. I don't imagine we'll get a rel ban like chat's saying, but it's on the table, I guess.
Could be possible. So far, we do have a Hecarim and Udyr banned away for Lotus, and WYO is going to knock out that Kai'Sa. Hey, that's probably smart. And the Thresh as well. So, yeah, so far we haven't seen the Rel get knocked out, Seraphine, and let's see it, folks. Maybe this final ban could be what everybody wants here.
Yeah, I mean, the Kai'Sa ban makes total sense, right?
Yeah.
Because, Lotus, they first picked it on red side because the boomers were not willing to play it. Now that Lotus are on blue, they will 1,010% first pick it if it's available. So just get that out of here. It doesn't look like they banned the Rel as well. That one, I'm less sure on because I'm curious what they would have matched the Rel with. That would be a scary. I do think Rel's incredibly strong, so it does make sense. But there are still champions like the Alistair still available, Thresh still available. Tom Kench, if you want to go, farm Kench is there as well. So like, there's still a lot of those tanky crowd control supports that Lotus could choose to pick up.
Yeah, I mean, they showed that they could team fight really well. Well, get another team fight support. You already got a really good team fight AD carry in the Zaya that you just now picked up. So yeah, let's find maybe a Rakan. Actually, would be the classic lovers duo. Just put them together in that bottom side, and we already saw that Lotus's bot lane kind of outclassed YO's. Now, maybe on a more carry oriented pick. WYO could kind of flip the script a little, but so far I haven't seen anything in the game one to present that as a possibility. Sivir going to be grabbed up by WYO boomers, and that's better, right? It's better than Ashe. It's still a bit of utility, but come late game, Sivir will dominate.
Yeah, Sivir, we've been seeing her a lot more. We've seen a couple different build paths for the Sivir as well. We've seen the full penetration build where you go like Duskblade and Black Cleaver and things like that. I have also seen, the Kraken Slayer build where you do use that auto attack reset to the best of your abilities. Quite devastating as well. We have seen some suspect builds where we've seen it just kind of fall flat. So I do believe in Palm Goat. They have the highest stats in the league for a reason.
Right.
This is definitely a pick you can show that on. Gnar being stolen away for the boomers as well. Lotus, they're going to break up the lovers duo. They're going to bring in the Leona. Much easier to execute, in my opinion. So strong stuff there. And it does kind of force the issue onto YO, where you now need a support that can deal with the Leona engage, and Thresher's banned away.
Yeah, you could be looking at a Morgana or something along that vein. But we'll have to find out in just a moment. Meanwhile, Vladimir grabbed for Lotus, and I like Vladimir. I like the pick. I'm pretty unfamiliar with how he got into the Gnar, and that's my bingo, folks. I just got.
I called it first.
Pick. I mean, it's not a competition.
It literally is. Juice
no, it's,
whoever calls bingo first wins.
Yeah, but we're just playing. We're playing friendly. It's a friendly game of bingo.
No,
we're just here. We're hanging out. We're palling around and playing some bingo.
If you're not first,
it's in the background.
You're last.
I'm not even really worried about it. But anyway, Nautilus grabbed by the boomers. And there you go. There's a lot of CC. There's a good amount of peel that Nautilus will bring into the fray. We're not talking about bingo. We're talking about the draft. Yone knocked out by Wild Boomers, and Orianna taken away for Lotus. So they don't get it. Nobody gets it.
I do like the play so far. The draft so far from WYO does lead them to potentially be picking up that Orianna had it gone through on the first pick of the second draft. Nautilus, I think, is good. Nautilus, we've seen it, and it's interesting. And the reason I'm going to say it's interesting is because they're picking it into a champion two champions, let's say, they can completely invalidate your ultimate, right? Like you
Yeah.
can try and drop the depth charge down onto both the Zaya or the Vladimir, and both of them have a tool that just completely removes it from the map, still puts it on cooldown, still baits you into using it, and that in and of itself is problematic. And I imagine that the mid laner will be of the ability power variety, the AP variety, which means they'll be able to get a Zonia stopwatch, which again invalidates the depth charge. So it's an interesting pick. It's strong in lane. It does a lot of good, great things. It's just that once you hit level 6 or even level 2 in Vladimir's case, there's options.
I just can't. I'm astounded at how salty I am over this whole bingo thing. I'm gonna be real with you. It's bothering me. It's got me in a dark place. J4 grabbed by the boomers, and Amumu
It's
is gonna
okay.
take or Lotus is gonna take Amumu rather.
You're in good company. Kamumu's on the board. You guys can be sad together.
Yeah, that's fun. We'll have to see what the final pick is, but yeah, I do dig saving that mid lane for the last pick for the boomers. Give Trinity the best matchup possible, and Lotus is throwing down the gauntlet. They're gonna grab, they're gonna grab Lucian. So
it's a flex.
That is a flex. That was probably the smartest pick I could possibly think of. Because Vladimir, Lucian, they can go however you want them to go. And I'm pretty sure Nar's stuck in the top side.
Yeah, Nar, Lucian is... I think it's okay. I think that matchup actually goes quite well for the Lucian. Obviously, late Mega Gnar is a problem because he's just too tanky, man. But early game, press the attack is brutal, especially in those first couple Mega Gnars where you don't have stats built up, you don't have any armor, you don't have any HP, and press the attack just blows you away. Vladimir, I think, does very okay into Gnar as well, just because of the sustained battle. The Cassiopeia pick hurts my soul because I think Lucian's just going to run a train on her. I think just absolutely out the station all the way through into the Nexus and just claim that victory screen. And I think Lotus, I think they draft Kingdom tier. I think they have an amazing set of champions for themselves.
I do really dig Lotus's draft. I don't know if I necessarily agree with the Lucian rolling over Cassiopeia though, because if Cassiopeia can get those Twin Fangs leveled up, right? He has the miasma to stop Lucian in their tracks, and then you just wail on him, right? You just wail on him with Twin Fangs over and over. I don't know. I think that I think Cassio's got a better shot than maybe you think there, Doctor, but we'll have to see.
So my thought process, I am gonna explain it because I do see your train of thought. I've played both sides of the matchup. I've been on both receiving ends of honestly both of our ideas. And so the way I see your argument in that the miasma is the answer to the Lucian is that that's the Cassiopeia being proactive, right? Like getting the miasma down early, maybe getting the poison burst off of with like a Rylai's and, then having the slow into miasma, into Twin Fang. Yes, Cassiopeia will melt through the Lucian at that point, but that is the proactive, aggressive play. Whereas in the thought process I have here is that looking at our game one, Trinity was, a bit more reserved in their gameplay, whereas JVL was pretty aggressive for the Orianna. I mean, we saw that teleport down in the bot lane. So when they're onto this Lucian, in my head, they're going to be the proactive one. They're going to be the ones pushing the envelope forward. So they're going to be dashing forward, full combo press the attack, getting a ton of damage down, and then dropping the culling on top of that for the kill. That is how my thought process is going. I do see both sides to the argument, but I think JVL is just more aggressive.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not positive on the matchup because Lucian mid, not something that I have that much experience seeing, even in my over 200 games of solo queue. But we're gonna figure it out in just a moment. But in terms of the rest of the team, I think that WYO Boomers definitely were looking outdrafted until the final pick for Cassiopeia, because that just really amps up the amps up the damage output that this team can do. Yeah,
Mhm.
there are some tank stats that are going to be coming through for Lotus. You got two of the best melting champions in the game in the Sivir. She's just going to slaughter your front line. Cassiopeia. We've all watched LCS like in season 6, right? Like Cassiopeia will just destroy you. So I think I prefer WYO Boomer's draft here in the grand scheme. And, rather than trying to engage with the depth charge from Nautilus, that was something you were talking about. Just save it for once some of that dodging capability spells have come out already for Lotus, and then you can layer it onto the no dodging champions, because they're going to have to use it if you hook them, right? You got to use it sooner rather than later into WYO's comp. But I don't
Yeah.
know. I think we got a good game on our hands.
Oh, definitely. I do think this game is going to be just like the game one, explosive up to a certain point when one team can start really pulling ahead, but we're going to get a bunch of good team fights up to that point. And this is such a pivotal game because this will decide, if Lotus overtake the Boomers in the standings. So
Yeah.
this is the important one here. I mean, they've already done, the deed in game number one. Lotus were able to come out ahead looking into this game. If they take it here, they secure a higher seed pretty much going into the next week, which, as we've already talked about, is quite, simple for them. So this is an important match if I've ever seen one. And so Lotus, they have a composition. There's a lot of pressure on Trinity. And if they can do it, this is certainly a champion to do it on. This is a make or break carry champion. Like, we've seen Vayne's pop off, we've seen Vayne's spotting. Cassiopeia is the same vein.
Yeah, you're completely correct. I do just want to reiterate that this game will literally decide who's in that 4th spot, just a single point behind Akuma, and who is sitting in 5th, a few points left in the rear view window, because WYO Boomers, they have 16 points right now. Akuma has 17. All they got to do is win this game, not go 0-4 on the day, and they will be tied with the Akuma Glaives. Lotus, if they win this game, because that is, I do believe, worth 3 points, that will put them ahead of Akuma Glaives. So this game right here dictates so much when it comes to the standings.
Yeah, because we are also assuming Akuma Glaives gets 2-0'd by Glaive Amethyst, because that's just that's how things go. We've talked about that. But yeah, we are going to take it to a short break, guys. So stay tuned. You aren't going to want to miss this potential tournament deciding game here as we do head into the playoffs. So stay tuned, and we'll be right back, and we'll be joining Necrox and the DJ, not any just DJ, the DJ, as they bring you the full rift of action. We'll be back in just a couple minutes.
Haha, y'all know it's the meme team time. Everybody here thinking they can bust a sick rhyme. Well, I'm here showing up to shut you down and prove that the Boomers are the best team all around. Let's start from the top. Bear man, no it ain't no deer. Relentless storm, Francisco's got you full of fear. Caught in the headlights, shocked, stunned like a deer. He'll split the skies open, make it rain with your tasty tears. He got them bear claws, you know he's getting fed. Your sorry carcass fills your friends with that sickly dread. Grab a towel, man, you'll need to wipe your brow, cause when you step into the lane, who's your daddy now? You try to show up, but you get scattered, cause Trinity won't stand for your stupid chatter. All this clatter, your tasty batter, he's getting fatter, serve your deaths on a silver platter. Control mages like a puppeteer, to the left, to the right, and your death is clear. One hop, all it takes is a single sphere. Turn your screen gray, he laughs as you disappear. You getting the picture? Do I need to spell it out? WYO, that's who I'm talking about. You can pout, you got no clout. You think you got a chance? Please, I'll press X to doubt. What's wrong, kid? Need a break? Need a little shade? Does the truth cut deep like a boomer blade? It's time to bow down. The king of bot displayed. While you degrade, getting
Sorry, I was
played, his
listening to
wins are
music.
ricocheted.
Getting hype.
Body after body, the corpse mountain piled high. That's how he likes it. Palm goat lets the bullets fly. Y'all know gloats, they love to climb. That's why they're known as the greatest of all time. Try to assassin, you try to take him down. Enjoy the anchor to your face as you're dragged all around. I call it CC, you call it death note, cause when the depth charge rings, it's your name he wrote. They call him Birdman cause he'll send you flying. You're back at base respawning, still typing. You should be crying, you're denying, teammates sighing. I swear it's my pain, you exclaim, but you're lying. All across the lift, you'll never see him coming. Resiro, here's your heartbeat, the constant drumming. The beat is thumping, the speed becoming fast paced. You're panic cause there's no chance of running. Here, pick a card, any one of them will do. Out of all these junglers, all of them 52. You think it matters? Don't let it misconstrue. Master of the mall and he'll still silence you. Call us Hawaii, cause every lane's an island. Stacking solo kills, y'all were claim we are styling. I ain't lying. You're realizing we're redefining Boomer and it's you who'll be retiring. Like Vesuvius, you just can't handle us. We'll bury you in ash and dust and leave without a fuss. Our pyroclastic flow chokes you out, what you're lost in. If you try to come and play, best bring a coffin. Fight Mother Nature, please, it's you who'll see your fate is sealed. Open up the fortune cookie, your destiny revealed. You can't beat Everest, your climb is temporary. The whole world could end and we'll still be standing solitary. We're unbreakable, the highest thing on planet Earth. You think a couple L's points to our real worth? Y'all don't seem to understand, comprehend. The Vlad Banner's legacy is coming to an end.
Welcome back, everyone, to Summoners Earth. My name is Necrox. Joining me is DJ, and we are here to bring you game number 2. Game 1. Absolutely banger of a game. Lotus barely taking a win there after a slight fumble on the top side. But WYO, I feel like they have a win condition here. They've got themselves a couple critical picks, some things taken away, and now all about execution.
Yeah, it is going to be a lot down to execution in this second game. And I do like what they have done here. They're getting Palm Goat on a champion that can carry a little bit more. It is supportive, of course, with the ultimate. It does give you your entire team some movement speed, but it's just going to be a much better carry in the late game regardless. Even going this Dark Harvest sort of poke style build can still be a massive threat in the later portion of the game. And Trinity is again on a champion that can carry, that can be a threat. And, you know, we talked about it a lot in the build-up. I do think Lucian can outplay the matchup, of course. But, you know, traditionally, Cassio is very good into that champion. It's tough to get inside the range. And if you do dash too early, you're going to get ulted in the team fight. Was completely in agreement about the Nautilus pick. I think it's going to be a tricky for Birdman to operate in this game. He's going to have to ult the right targets because 2 members there can just immune it. So he is going to have to probably land it onto JVL in these fights, but we'll have to see how they do play out. And my eyes really are going to be on Rosero, on a very different champion to the Skarner, someone who wants to gank pre-6 as opposed to post-6. But, oh boy, we got some action in bot lane already.
That's a level 1. Both AD carries going to be engaged on Alistair, trying to throw a couple more feathers. Palm Goat throwing the boomerangs, but much lower is Palm Goat here on the Sivir. But that's really because of the Ignite that went down from Kiwiism, getting very aggressive. Zenith Blade level 1 here.
Oh, here we go. Jungler's here.
See how confident, but here we go. Rosero forces the immediate flash. Birdman gonna hook forward as well. Bouncing Boomerang will find Alistair on both charges. Will not be enough to take him down. I wanted to quickly shout out Upsurge for the raid, and I hope you all are excited for the intense matchup that we expect here between 2 of our best teams here in Excellency Heavy, Lotus and WYO Boomers.
Yeah, and love the start from WYO Boomers here. Rosero picking up this Jarvan in the draft. This is a champion that can really get ahead and help the team pre-level 6 and already level 2, coming down, burning a flash off of Kiwiism to negate the engage and potentially set up more follow-up gank as, ooh, Birdman's hook just going to go into the wall there. But I do like the early setup again in this bot lane. We saw it in game number 1. Necrox, the throwdown between Alistair and Palm Goat that we've all been waiting for on stream. Round 1 definitively going over to the side of Kiwiism and Alistair as he dominated on the Kai'Sa. 14 kills on that one. They take away the entire bottom lane in picks and bans and now set up in another strong matchup with the Leona Xayah. We'll see how they do match up as Palm Goat getting some good work done here with those boomerangs in the early game. Already a couple of Dark Harvest stacks in his back pocket.
Yeah, feels real good getting to poke out the Zaya here. And because Alistair was first picking his champion, he gets counterpicked not necessarily by the Nautilus, but really this Sivir has this long range poke, and with the Tira Goddess in pocket here, can really spam those Qs much more than normal Sivir can do. As we take a quick look at the mid lane trades, and this is the matchup that we expect to go into Cassio's favor. That Miasma going to do a lot of work to stop the relentless pursuit from being able to track down the snake. She can then turn around, whip out the petrifying gaze, and chunk out the solution. As Kiwiism going to face check here. Both supports going to proc their aftershock, but the hook not find the mark nor the Zenith Blade for Kiwiism.
Alistair is silky, man, with the footwork. That was scary. Oh, hold on here. Rosero's in mid lane. I think this isn't a kill. JVL can just flash now that he's out of Miasma. But I do, again, like how active Rosero is being. He is going to fall a little bit behind in jungle camps, most likely because of this. But again, similar to being on a Skarner, it's not really a huge deal for you if you fall behind too far on camps, although you will be a little less tanky when you do go in. But it is going to be a negative later on in the team fights when LZ is a lot stronger, a lot tankier on this pick.
Yeah, Kiwiism gonna go in once again as well, looking for the straight up 1v1, but that cleanse will get rid of the ignite, and Birdman's now looking for 1v1. It's support on AD carries on either side. Alistair's gonna be taken down first, and this is WYO Boomer's bot lane biting back.
Yeah, they turn it around, Necrox, and it was in the draft. We saw it. They were clearly not happy with the way they played game number one. Multiple Ash arrows going wide from Palm Goat. But game number two, they are coming out and saying, we are fighting back. They're going to pick up both kills in the bottom lane, and we do have to give credit over to Rosero as LZ comes in here to clean it up. I don't think he'll get there. He might try to flash, but no, we'll just be slowing down. I think Birdman should be fine with the Q to get out. Hold on, I'll actually wait because Rosero's here. LZ's gonna turn on.
What is this? LZ, no, my friend, you weren't tracking the jungler and the sinning that was committed here in this bot lane. You need to go to church, man. There's no way you should be committing that kind of crime. As LZ will pay the ultimate price. He gets easy hooked in by Birdman, and Rosero was there to clean up the kill. As this is when Palm Goat Sivir gets really obnoxious. When a Sivir is ahead, gets that Caulfield's Warhammer nice and early on, the CDR and the tier means not only do you have the mana to throw a lot of boomerangs, you got the CDR to do just that.
Yeah, and I gotta give a ton of credit to Rosero in this early game. He's already been in 2 lanes. He's stayed relatively even on farm, and he shows up for the critical counter gank there to punish LZ that rewards them with first Drake. And I was gonna talk about it right before LZ overcommitted. You have to give credit to Rosero for part of this bot lane victory because there was no flash on Kiwiism from the earlier gank. And I think Palm Goat might be in a little trouble. Oh no, Palm Goat, please no, Palm Goat. Okay, good dodge. Okay,
we might have different opinions on who would want to win this game, Mr. DJ.
Oh, it's not about winning or losing here, Necrox. It's just about I don't want people to get caught in the simple traps. Like, come on, let's have a nice honorable bot lane here. It was a nice honorable bout in game number 1. Alistair took it home, and despite a little intervention from Rosero, so far going pretty good for WYO Boomers. Again, we'll finish up the point there that Rosero taking away Kiwiism's flash kept him from flashing back onto Palm Goat, which kept them alive, allowed Birdman to pick up the first and second one to come in. But a great start overall for WYO Boomers as they find themselves in nearly a 2K gold lead here at 7.5 minutes with 3 kills. 1 of those on the Sivir, 2 of those, unfortunately, on the support.
Yeah, sadly, one of them going to Palm Goat. No, I'm just joking. Birdman will pick up 2 of those kills. It does have the Moby, so we'll be very fast early on in this game. And really, bot lane has been the only point of contention for either of these 2 teams. You can see a slight CS lead here built up for Trinity, but really nothing to be considered in the grand scheme of things as Papa trying to run down, accelerate. We'll be able to get 1 more boomerang in, and this team loves their boomerangs. I guess Papa wielding 1 in top lane and Palm Goat wielding 1 in bot lane. Everyone's chucking skill shots here, seeing what connects, as this is what Palm Goat will do on repeat this game. Shove in the wave, get your man immune stacked up, and then go and roam as Birdman. Again, those Mobies will take him across Summoner's Rift awfully fast.
Yep, they will. And like you said, he's going to have freedom to roam when the Sivir just continually clears the wave with the bouncing blades. So lovely stuff coming in from WYO Boomers. They're going to move up. Good pings coming out from the side of Lotus. They're just going to clear out some vision as Rosero spots out LZ. He's level 6 to 5. He's walking in on this one.
LZ at about a quarter HP, but going back in now. Is the culling gonna go away? Is Rosero trying to get himself out, but not gonna be able to do so, but picks up a clean 1-for-1. But Papa's trying to make it more, as Accelerate's gonna be in a little bit of trouble. There's your flash hook. The dredge line is perfect from Birdman. Good night, Accelerate. Find yourself going back to the fountain as he tried to roam down and help his jungler out. But in the end, it's WYO Boomers that claim 2.
Yes, it is. And I have to say, this is greedy from Lotus in the follow-up play. It looks good at the beginning when you look at the map at what we're seeing, because you just see this Jarvan surrounded by 3 members of the enemy team. You're thinking, oh, this guy's dead. He's doomed. He's done. He's going back to gray screen in the fountain. Let's hold on here as Trinity might be in a little trouble with Kiwism coming up. Just going to back up. But what you don't see is, again, the priority from bottom lane. We just talked about how the Sivir can clear the waves so easily with the bouncing blade. It allows them to both roam up to mid. And the Jarvan was 6, so he just jumps back on top of LZ with the Cataclysm, picks up the first kill, and despite going down, the rest of his entire team is there, while Alistair is backing, and his support is nowhere near the play. They get the follow-up kill onto Accelerate, and they win out in the extended fight.
And this Nautilus is rich. Birdman 301. I know Jake is smiling somewhere right now about this man's Nautilus, and he's got the gold to put up or shut up this time around. Birdman really getting active across the map now as he is headed towards top side, looking for a second kill onto Accelerate, or maybe just this Rift Herald. There is a ward here that could spot this one out, as Rosero will have to clear out some vision. Birdman headed back mid with double buffs on this Nautilus. That's a dangerous threat. Hex Flash being channeled. Here he comes. JBL gonna be thrown up into the air, immediately flashing away. It's flash for nothing. You only get the Nautilus ulti. The depth charge will be committed. LZ can't find anything on the return angle.
Yeah, clean stuff for Birdman, who's really the member just dominating this game at the moment. The roam up is what gets the kill, follow-up kill onto Accelerate. He's going to earn his side a free Rift Herald and a flash for just the Hex Flash ulti. That's a great trade-up on cooldown. So, as you mentioned, Birdman, with those riches in his pockets, the Moby boots on his feet, just making stuff happen here in the early game alongside Rosero for WYO Boomers.
And it feels bad for Lotus's bot lane. They can't punish this Sivir. Birdman is freely moving around the map without any punish. Sivir is one of those few champions, and the cleanse on top will secure so much safety to Palm Goat this game. He is absolutely A-okay sitting here in the 1v2 against the Xayah Leona. They would have to commit absolutely everything, and they still might not be able to find the kill with the Sivir ulti. Used as a disengage tool. So Birdman really taking control of this one, getting a nice advantage for his team. Feathers will go forward. Finally, Alistair gets some breathing room to move towards this dragon. JB and LZ had already started this one up. Rosero trying to find a way in, but Kiwism just playing bodyguard is 1 Drake to 1. Rosero maybe looking for a couple maneuvers here. LZ's going to eventually have to flash over the wall, as Kiwism's going to have to flash away from the flag and drag. The calling going to go down, denying a little bit more room now, as Lotus will walk away from the fight. Flash 2. Kiwism and LZ both have to commit theirs to pay for the dragon.
Yeah, this is very clean from Lotus, though. I really like the setup. They knew that Rift Herald was being taken by Rosero, which, despite the fact that they knew he'd come straight to Dragon, means he's slow to the setup. So they push in bottom wave. They force it in as deep as they can go. They roam over to the Drake first, and because they have superior setup, WYO Boomer's just a little hesitant to take the fight, and that does just slow down the early game momentum a little bit. WYO Boomers is ahead on gold, about 1.5, 2.5k gold even here, and should be fighting for that Drake. Instead, they have to give it up, and now Papa's going to be in some trouble, but Mega's coming.
Mega's on the way. What's an RLT look like? But he's just stunned up. He can't move. The CC locked down Papa, and he will go down in top side. But look at the punish that WYO are putting on this maneuver. Kiwism dare steps out of bot lane, and the Rift Herald is dropped down here, knocking a whole turret down for Palm Goat here on bot side, as Krugs will be taken, plates will be dropped. JVNL forced to respond. There's Birdman, Hex Flash over the wall once again. The auto, the depth charge, everything layered on top. JVL will lose his life. In the end, you never call that worth for Lotus.
Nope, you absolutely don't. Just a round of applause for WYO Boomer's macro game here. Again, when you're behind in games, you sometimes need to make trades to try to make things happen. They go to top lane to shut down Papa Francesco, who might just get...
Oh! Oh my gosh! No way they both live there, DJ. Surely one of them was punished with death, but somehow they both survived. But Trinity may not be able to tell the same story. Alistair's gonna miss the feathers as Trinity's forced to flash away. Ignite was committed by Kiwi. Now Rosero showing up in the back end. A nice end with play. The flag and drag will get Rosero to safety once again. Accelerate showing up. Not able to put enough damage down as Alistair still whacking away on this tier 1. No one gonna be punished with their lives. Somehow, everyone on Summoner's Rift keeping themselves alive.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure how. I'm pretty sure the auto got canceled from Papa Francesco. It looked like the animation had started, but he had to cancel it under the turret, and somehow they both stay alive, and then chaos just ensues as teleports are thrown down, junglers are showing up, but everyone stays alive. And really the first moment of chaos we've had in what has otherwise been a very controlled game from WYO Boomers, taking their advantage, moving it across the map, responding well to Lotus's move on top side with that Rift Herald they earned from themselves. They take a turret on bottom side. They go to bottom side and kill the mid laner sitting there in beautifully executed fashion. They take a second turret. As you said, definitely not worth for Lotus. It's a great macro play from WYO Boomers, and they continue to robotically, just super efficiently expand their gold lead here. It was 2.5K a couple minutes ago. Now it's 4K for them, despite all the chaos that happened in mid lane, and they continue to just push themselves further and further ahead.
And it's all about those turrets. It's all about the plating here. If we quickly take a look at the gold, you can see just how far ahead Palm Goat is up against Alistair. The man is wealthy, could buy absolutely anyone on Summoner's Rift out right now, and should use that gold to the fullest extent now in the bot lane against JVL. As he's going to be caught out once again. The Boomerang finds it, but Birdman wants the kill, and he'll take it. This Nautilus has a better KDA than I have all season.
Yeah, Birdman gonna have to apologize to Palm Goat for that one, but this man wants the MVP. He's like Medic, supports matter, he wants that MVP, and he has taken it. I'm the carry now, Palm Goat.
Man's got Turbo Chem Tank just straight sprinting at some dudes. Birdman taking every possibility to fight, moving everywhere. Hex flashing out of bushes, finding depth charge over wall. Absolutely cannot be stopped. And Birdman looking to get that MVP on the set tonight for sure. But game not even close to over. Yes, Lotus are at a 5K deficit. Yeah, they're looking at pretty rough. But if there's one team outside of a couple reigning champions here from Excellency Heavy League, it could be Lotus to pull this game out of the bag and grab themselves an undeserved win. We shall see, though, dragging up in 10 seconds.
Yeah, they certainly have the ability to team fight their way out of this. And this is an early engage onto LZ.
LZ gonna find the nice little stun, but not going to be anything at all. Palm Goat just immediately deletes the jungler, and now Lotus have to run. Alistair can't get the ulti off in time, and that's a misplay. Palm Goat, the better AD carry this time around, accelerates on the run, but it's WYO on the chase, and Palm Goat's going to grab himself a triple. Why the hell not give the man the quadra? Birdman's running down JVL, forced to flash away, but Kiwi, there's nowhere to go. A Boomerang in the back will take down Kiwi, the unofficial quadra to Palm Goat.
What a difference a game makes here, Necrox. I mean, WYO Boomers, if you took the nameplates off, you would think this was Academy versus LCS. This is such a clean performance from the Boomers. I mean, beautiful stuff. Rosero goes in. It looks a little bit early to my eyes, but Trinity just rolls in, throws down the miasma, and all of a sudden, LZ can't do anything. He can't flash, he can't smite, he can't do anything. His ulti only lands onto Palm Goat. There's no follow-up whatsoever. And with your jungler down, one of your frontliners, your CC down, you just got to run for the hills. But guess what you can't do against Sivir? run for the hills. You get just chased down. Birdman lands another huge hook onto Alistair. It was a misplay. Didn't get the ulti off in time, but either way, it was looking dire for Lotus, and Boomers just come in and clean everything up. They pick up 4 kills. JVL is forced to flash away. The Drake goes over to them, and they are in such a powerful position in this game, up 8k gold. The Baron spawning in just a minute and a half, and they can pretty much do whatever they want on the map right now.
The positives outweighed the negatives here by a long shot. Game 1 was relatively close for a Lotus victory. Game 2 not looking even relatively in that same direction. Birdman again here on top side. The tower is gone, and that means there's nowhere for Accelerate to run to. Trying to flash away. Will be able to get himself out. There's the flash. Zenith Blade. Palm Goat throws out the cleanse. Will be able to find himself to safety. Trinity going to throw down the miasma. Here comes Rosero as well from the river. But everyone again finding themselves out. Lotus drawing their battle lines, but it's WYO that get the priority on the Rift Herald and will take yet another objective.
Dude, what can Birdman not do in this game? This guy is literally everywhere, and it's well played by Accelerate. He gets it all right. He uses Pool at the right time. He uses Flash at the right time, but it still costs him his Flash. His team tries to back him up. They try to re-engage, but the cleanse is there for Palm Goat. The ult is there for Palm Goat. They dodge out on everything. There's no follow-up. WYO are so clean in this game so far, now taking away some vision from LZ in this jungle as they continue to push ahead. This Baron going to be on the map very soon. They took the second Rift Herald, so surely in their back pockets, and they're already looking to set up that vision line in preparation for some of these next objectives.
I gotta say, looking forward for WYO Boomers, if you are in a best of 3, best of 5 series, and you go down like you did in game number 1, having the mental fortitude to bounce that series back is no easy task, and this team has done exactly that in dominating fashion. Sure, the game's not over, but this one basically wrapped up in a bow for WYO. Of course, we did say that for Bucky's earlier this evening, but WYO are no Bucky's. WYO will close games out, and they will grab themselves a win if they have the right to do so, and they absolutely have it this time.
Yeah, they certainly do. They're in pole position. Again, I will emphasize, this Lotus composition can team fight. Alistair is going to get stronger and stronger as the game goes on, and we saw what he did in game number 1. He's got frontline and Accelerate. As bad as the game's been going, despite being down 30 CS, at a certain point, this Vladimir can just go off and kill everyone like we saw him do in his very first appearance for Lotus, where he was just cracked on this champion, just engaging through everything, picking up triples, picking up quadras. He was insane. So there is an eventuality available for the side of Lotus, but it just is going to be so difficult. You've got a Lucian who's very far behind, who's going to have trouble navigating the fights. It's all going to likely come down to the engage from Accelerate, who is definitely not there yet, as the second Rift Herald is pumped into the top tier 2 turret. The Baron is on the map, and honestly, a couple more team fights will break this game up to a point where we don't see a possibility of a Lotus comeback, and it will just be a WYO Boomers win. So I'm really looking at the side of Lotus to get to their next item spike and fight over either this next Drake or the Soul to try to keep alive in this game, because they're gonna need to do something to bridge the gap to Accelerate's power spike.
If you give this dragon up, you give away soul point, but you give yourself a little more time to farm up, get some more items, as you were talking about, DJ, to allow yourselves to get to a point where you can actually contest dragons, where you can walk in to this composition that WYO have drafted and actually begin to take a fair team fight. But look what Lotus are doing. They're pressuring the other side of the map in order to force a response here from WYO.
Yeah, but the response is already there. They're sniffing them out. They know they want to do this, and they still win every team fight. I mean, Siver's on 2.5 items. The Cassia is almost on 2 items here. Double Stride Breaker in, and look at the summoner spells. 5 flashes available. Cleanse is back up for Palm Goat. There's no way they lose a team fight, so they're very confident knowing they can just walk to whatever objective they want at the moment. You can see Accelerate's flash just about to come off of cooldown, but they're really going to need that to make any team fight happen. So they are just going to have to give up that soul point Drake and the next one going to be up 5 minutes from now. We're either going to see a fight around that or the Baron, and if it goes to WYO Boomers, this game is likely just done and dusted.
Can run it down mid and quite literally just end the game. We'll see
Yeah,
though if Lotus
concept,
can
right?
hold on. Yeah, I mean, it's like everyone in what solo queue wants to do. Just pick mid, run it down. But Lotus have so much ahead of them. They've got every tower in the game to knock down. All that standing gold is still available for them, and that's part of the reason why this gold lead has ballooned to 9,000 in the name of WYO Boomers. They've gotten so many turrets, plating, they're ahead mostly in farm just about everywhere. It's just slightly, to be fair, but still, getting those leads builds up, and with those turrets, it's a critical objective, and I believe we're going to get a fight around Baron. You can see everyone hovering up here towards top side. I'm not sure that Lotus can contest.
Yeah, it's going to be tricky. They really can't contest this. I love what WYO Boomers are doing here, just sending all of their members except for Francesco with the teleport to clear out this vision around the Baron. Honestly, with how far ahead they are, they could probably just start this up and threaten the turn. Your Sivir doesn't have consistent damage, but she does have the ultimate to charge the Jarvan in, to charge the Gnar in, get a flank TP. You win this fight. There are 2 items on the 80 carries for the side of Lotus, but you're still very ahead. Accelerate only on 1 item. He's not going to do anything if he comes into the fight. They are 2-manning it. Cassiopeia absolutely shreds this.
They're just 2-man. I'm not sure that Lotus even know, and even if they do know, they don't feel comfortable stepping up Rosero. Actually at about 3rd HP, but here comes Palm Goat and Birdman to be able to clean this one up. Lotus know now with that Vision Spire. Thank you, observers, for toggling the vision, but there's nothing that this Lotus team can do. 2nd place feels bad, and Baron to WYO feels even worse right now, as that ballooned gold lead is now at 10,000. It's only going to get worse for Lotus. Baron is such a gold explosion machine that now turrets are going to start to drop in what could be a game-ending fight.
Yeah, I think this is a clear choice from Lotus just to give this one up. They definitely sniffed that out and could have done something about it. Rosero went low on 2 separate occasions as that Baron pumped damage into him, but they just decided it wasn't worth the risk of trying to get to that objective late. They're going to keep farming up. They're going to try to accelerate to 2 items, which he has now just completed with the Cosmic Drive. So they are, I will say, Lotus in their best position to fight, and this might be the moment.
Ooh, TP forced out immediately from Papa. They get Birdman's flash for no cooldowns in particular. They get a nice 5-minute summoner off of Birdman and the dynamic cooldown of TP off of Papa Francesco. So maybe a little bit more map pressure now available to Lotus. But again, walking into a face-first team fight, really, 10k gold behind is not the ideal move. You'll probably lose an inhibitor if you try to fight for this turret. I highly advise Lotus to back away. Let's see what they do.
Yeah, they are probably just going to back away from this one. Just going to try to defend as best they can. Papa Francesco!
Look at that from Papa. It's a flash ulti. They're going to find JVL. But no, the flash away from Birdman took is beautiful. He'll go down. Calling out. Divided with the cards and snap. Trinity's found jungler. And WYO we're looking for more. The feathers are going to fly back. Golden is Trinity trying to keep himself alive. There's the Cataclysm onto the back line. And Zero will go down to JVL. A 1-for-1 trade in that small part of the skirmish. Kiwi's looking for more. Alistair's kiting forward, but he dies to the boomerang from Palm Goat. It's his revenge story in this game. In game number 2, WYO will bite back and will force this inhibitor down out of Lotus's hands. They'll pull away for now, but a critical mid inhibitor for Soul in 50 seconds.
What an incredible team fight, and I gotta give a ton of credit to Lotus. They did everything you are supposed to do as a team that is losing this badly. They waited, they bided their time, they gave up objectives, they waited until the perfect moment. The flash engage was already down for Papa Francesco. He didn't stun anyone to the wall despite knocking them back, and they fought to the death on all of their 2-item power spikes. It was the closest they are likely to get to WYO Boomers, and they almost managed to turn it around. Blinking health bars on every single carry of the Boomers, but all of that gold came in handy, and they were just able to fight off that effort. They pushed down the Idib, and now the Soul Drake is up, and they still have significant advantages over their enemies opposition. 3 items on Cassio, 3 items on Sivir, no 3-item power spikes for the side of Lotus. Here we go.
Here we go. Papa's gonna find the ulti. Rosero's immediately into the backline, but he's gonna be deleted by Alistair. LZ's gonna go down. Drake's being burned. Solar Flare not able to take it away. It's Dragon Infernal Soul gonna go to the way of WYO Boomers, but this might be a lost fight. Yes, you get the soul, but at what cost? Trinity's the only remaining member after 4 from WYO Boomers fall. They lose the inhibitor, they lose the inhibitor and the Infernal Soul, 2 critical objectives, but they somehow managed to find a winning fight. This game will go down to the absolute last battle as Lotus hold on.
Yeah, brilliant fight coming out from Lotus. Alistair just putting out the DPS in the backline, shredding through Rosero, who with the Stride Breaker really only has the shield coming from the Sterix Gauge, doesn't have a lot of armor to his name just yet. So a very easy shred for Alistair. And I don't really think WYO was fighting to win that fight. They just wanted the Drake. Their jungler went so deep in to create a front line. They were able to take it down. In the end, they lost 4. I think despite the loss, they will call it worth, because now the soul is off the table. It's in their hands. They already have the inhib down, and they still maintain this 9K gold lead over their opponents. The Elder Drake, though, is going to be active in 5 minutes. That will be a critical fight. I imagine the likes of Lotus will hold off for that fight and hope that, just like the fight we just saw, they can out-team fight this WYO Boomer side that is likely their avenue back into the game, because you saw what Accelerate did to a couple members of the backline on 2 items. He'll likely have 3 by the time we get to this Elder.
2 towers remaining here for Lotus to hold on to. They need to keep every bit of pressure on this map if they want a shot at this Elder Dragon. 4 minutes now, waiting on that critical objective. Accelerate will find himself chunked out by Papa, but no problems just quite yet. The Hemo Plague actually going to be used, but the siege is on with Infernal Soul every 4 seconds. Those hits count more and more.
Yeah, Papa Francesco's teleport just about to come off cooldown. Accelerates is available as well, so both can join the fight as 4 members pushing down that bottom lane turret. It's a little awkward that these lanes are so deeply split. I would kind of like one member to be in mid lane pressuring inhibitor turrets instead of in the bottom lane pressuring outer turrets. Nevertheless, still 4 very scary members of WYO Boomers here in this top lane. That mid lane wave going to push in, but it's not timed appropriately. This siege is certainly not perfect from WYO Boomers. You can see JVL already clearing that one away. He's going to be able to rotate back in plenty of time.
Yeah, not timing the wave exactly coordinated, but with 1 second on Baron. We'll see if anyone decides to pull back and grab this basically free objective for Lotus. The turret, though, on the bot side will fall in the 1v1. Accelerate not able to stop the siege from going forward, and now the pings are on Baron. Kiwiism feeling confident to step forward to clear out some vision, but that's all Kiwi will be able to grab. Not sure there's really any way onto this Baron pit. Look at the wards scattered around.
Yeah, I think they're being a little greedy hanging around right now. They are getting a lot of damage out, but finally just going to fall back to this objective. They just need to burst this down. I mean, there's just no way, like you said with the vision there, that Lotus is going to be able to walk up. You can see them just falling back. They're going to give this one up. Again, the fight that Lotus want is going to be around the Elder Drake. They're going to try to clear their waves. They're going to try to get their item spikes for that objective in 2.5 minutes. Can WYO close the game out beforehand, or at least push into the base, destroy enough that they can fall back just like they just did with a vision line and take it for free? That is the question I have for WYO Boomers to finish off this game that they have executed so well for 32 minutes.
This game is all but wrapped up, man. DJ, I'm holding my head high for Lotus, but I just don't see a world where in a 10k, nearly 11k gold deficit up against Infernal Soul, Baron, super minions, and all that you could ever think about taking a fair team fight. You need some sort of miracle play from LZ or Kiwi or Accelerate to be able to win this one out. But here come this WYO squad. They are headed straight down mid lane. They know exactly how much of an advantage they're working with.
Yeah, they're waiting for Papa Francesco in top side. Wave's not quite synced up, but They are looking a little better than last time. You see the mid wave is coming in behind. It will likely arrive a little bit after Papa pushes this one into the tier 3 turret in top lane. So much better setup this time around coming from WYO Boomers as JBL tries to clear this out. Just a couple more seconds. Here comes that mid lane wave as the inhibitor already under fire. This is good setup. I like this setup from WYO Boomers. Let's see if they go for an engage or if they're just going to take the strike.
Keep your eyes on Papa. Keep your eyes on Papa. He misses that Gnar ulti. That is a big cooldown loss. We'll be back up awfully soon. The solar flare is going to go down from Kiwi. Accelerates, found his way into the back line, but Rosero's going to immediately kill JBL. Zelzy's going to go down as well. This is the lost fight. You got to protect the base now. Alistair's going to throw up the feathers. Can he find himself away for a little bit longer? No, he's burning to Leandres. The feathers fly back. A clean move, but Trinity goes golden just in time, as this is going to be our game-ending fight for WYO Boomers. They boomerang themselves back into this set and will turn things around in game number 2 and shut down the second place team in Lotus. Papa's gonna hop forward for a final kill, slams Accelerate into the wall, and will slam Lotus out of the night.
What a brilliant game from WYO Boomers, honestly. One of the cleanest we have seen this entire season. And as you mentioned, a great sign for them going into the playoffs where both of these teams are headed. When you are in a best of series...